Okay, since they're starting, the rest of the group has to stay quiet.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Ben Show. Like I said, I am Dr. Ben, and welcome to our March 2nd, 1391 edition of our show. As we all know, the Pilgrims are currently on their annual pilgrimage. It's at that time of year, springtime, and as it turns out, we actually have some of America's favorite pilgrims ready to stop by our studio today. They've taken time out of their schedule so we can know a little more about them and those random facts that no one ever knows. So let's welcome in our first guest, the worthy woman.
Hello! Hi. Hi, keep talking.
Why don't you go ahead and be seated?
What was that? I'm not quite sure what you said. He's talking about Goodyear. This is Goodyear.
Go ahead and be seated.
I'll take it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, worthy woman, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About myself? Okay. Well, you see, I'm very, very good at weaving. I love to weave. Do it all day long. Yes, all day long. Oh, did I tell you? I had 5 husbands. 5 of them. Yes, all 5 were my husbands. Isn't that good? Oh, and also, here's my clothes. Yes, I'm known for my clothes. You see, I'm from Bath, and that's where they have the most finest clothes in the world. Yes, just why I'm... Oh, and red. Yes, it's a very nice color on me. Yes. Oh, and traveling, do it all the time. I'm on this pilgrimage now, but I've been to 3 pilgrimages in Jerusalem. Yes, and I've traveled, many other places like Italy. Oh, I love Rome. And just wonderful travel. I love traveling. Did I say I love traveling? I do. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry, we do have limited time, so I have to move on to our next guest very quickly. But thank you for sharing some of those fun facts with us. And now for our next guest, the lawyer.
Retrieve the lawyer.
Oh, wait. Here comes the lawyer. The lawyer.
No, sir, you're not going to find any loopholes in this. I guarantee you. I looked over the document plenty of times. You're not going to find anything. No, I'm telling you, I'm right. You know what, bye.
Welcome to our show.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Let's go ahead and be seated. So, you are a lawyer, and you're on this pilgrimage.
Yes, and I am one of 20 eminent judges in the royal court, and I know all the law that proceeds all the way back to King William.
Now, I know I've heard about some of this ironic deflation about, could you tell us a little more about that?
Well, basically, just it's part of my job as a lawyer. I know all the law dating back from now, all the way back to when King William came over here and became king. And so, just you got to know all the law to be able to find any loopholes and be able to cross out any loopholes that other people can find.
All right. And so, what's another random fact you would want to share with us, our studio audience, something we won't even know about you?
The best thing that I'm good at doing is getting good land bargains for people. Just like the king, I just got him a huge piece of property the other day.
Well, that's great. Thanks for coming into our studio.
No problem. Good being here, man.
And let's welcome our next guest, the Manciple.
He is the word man. He is the...
Welcome to our show.
Hi.
Go ahead, be seated. So, let's see. So what do you do for a living, being a Manciple?
Well, I'm a businessman.
Okay, and so do you do stuff for the college?
Yep, I purchase everything for it.
Make the purchases, okay. And now I know, Manciple, you don't usually have an education, but would you consider yourself to be smart in other ways?
Yes, I'm smarter than all the lawyers.
Wonderful. And what's something else you can share with us?
I'm very shrewd in my dealings.
Really? Wonderful. And once again, you said you are just like a businesswoman, a businessman?
Yes.
Well, You're not very talkative. Thank you for coming to our show.
Oh no.
Hey, is she wearing a costume? Had no conscience.
And our fourth guest, the pardoner.
Oh, heavens. Just so everybody knows, this is a very famous relic. If you'd like to buy it for 50 shillings, it was on that boat that Peter was on.
Welcome to our show. Do some advertising while you're here. Go ahead, let's be seated. And so, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself being the pardoner?
Well, just like how I was doing, I was manipulating the parsons by selling fake relics. This is the real mast.
So, being that, I mean, you have to be quite the salesperson, so would you consider yourself to be a good speaker?
I am a great speaker.
Wonderful. Now, I know even though you scam people, aren't you still considered, I mean...
I have no conscience at all. Anything, I can do anything, and I don't mind. I can sleep like a baby and kill someone, but I am very noble in church.
Well, that is just wonderful. So some of the interesting facts that you don't know until you meet the pardoner on our show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Anyone would like to purchase the relic?
I want a relic with the relic. Do you want to purchase that? Cool.
Our fifth guest is going to be the physician. Let's welcome the physician.
Yeah, song that makes sense. How are you, Dr. Benny?
Dr. Physician, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
All right. So, tell us a little bit about how you're using your practice on the pilgrimage.
The pilgrim. Well, I have been staying up late these nights because the stars have been telling me. And of course, everybody knows that a good physician uses astrology to find the answers to the cures. Staying up late at night, the stars tell me. Basically, that's how I find my cures. And the four humors, just kind of whatever they do best.
Now, also, we've also heard in the news. Everybody's wondering. We've heard about this corrupt bargain.
Oh, no. That's not a corrupt bargain. The apothecary and I actually we have a joint financial deal. And whenever I assign, medicine to somebody, they just go buy it from him. And he just happens to be the place where they buy it from. So the apothecary and I only work together.
Work together. Oh, okay. So what would you believe? I mean, I know a lot of doctors, when it gets into medicine and you're believing in using astrology and stuff, what would you believe, about creation?
Religion.
Religion, there you go.
There is no God. I am an atheist. So.
Wow. So, being a doctor, you probably do pretty well, though.
Yes, I do have quite the nicest clothes, as you can tell, and I'm very, very well off. But I'm very stingy. I do like to keep my money. I don't like to spend it very much, so I like to keep it in the bag.
All right. I'm with you on that one. All right. Well, thank you for coming on our show today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait. Wait, turn so I can see your...
Covering it with stethoscope.
Sorry.
I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, in the middle.
And now we're going to go from the role of the doctor to the role of a student. Let's welcome our new student. That's good. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So, being a student, I know we just looked at the life, the doctor, and he does pretty well. He's stingy and stuff. But how do you do financially as a student?
I have no money. I have no shoes. These glasses here are borrowed. They don't fit my vision very
Wonderful. So, being in school, you have to use a lot of books. So, what would be your least favorite?
Oh, I hate theological books. They're awful. Oh my goodness.
Anything you would rather?
I would so much rather read Aristotle. They're so cool. I'm telling you.
So, you like reading then,
I
so
do,
you
I
consider
do.
yourself to be...
I'm very smart.
Oh.
I know algebra. I know English. I even know French.
So, how do you get to pay for this? Do you get scholarships? Or?
I do. I pray for people like you, and you pay me, and I get to go to school on scholarships. It's quite
fun.
Well, that's wonderful. Thanks for coming on our show today.
Thank you, thank you.
Wait, I need
Pray for people
Like you. And you pay me.
We don't have
Wait,
any.
you were learning doing stuff. You guys coming?
My battery is dying.
She stole my shoe idea.
And our next guest will be the skipper.
Gotta get my wine. Drop my knife.
Welcome to our show.
How you doing?
So why don't you explain some of the things that you brought with you today to the studio?
Well,
And how did you get by security with the knife?
you know, I carry it with me everywhere I go, and actually, I had to break the string off of it to get it past security. Normally I got it tied around my neck and carry it under here, but gotta go without the string right now because had to get it by security. And also had to sneak my wine bottle past there, and this is my normal wine bottle. I steal wine from the skipper all the time. Always hide it in here.
So skipper, is that another word for like a sailor?
Well, yes, basically, but actually, from the other skipper, basically the captain, and skipper, sailor, captain, kind of all relate.
Wow, well thank you for
And,
visiting our studio today.
Also,
Oh.
come sail with me anytime. My ship is the Madeline, or Madeline, or however you pronounce it.
Madeline?
I'm too drunk to pronounce it.
Fancy words.
Thank you.
The shirt's a little snug.
I'm too drunk.
I'm too drunk.
I'm too drunk to pronounce it right.
And our last but not least, the Reeve. Let's welcome the Reeve. Oh, as soon as the sailor leaves.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. The Reeve. There we go. Welcome. I think I've seen you before. That's nice to see. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I carry a rusty sword. I have a temper. I worked on the manor and kept my farmer's livestock. I steal from my master. Don't tell him. Physical and natural opposite to the miller. Naturally opposite.
Your natural talent.
I'm the miller.
Well, that is just wonderful. Anything else you want to share with us today?
Well,
What's the basket for?
for my eggs.
Since you work on the manor?
It's eggs.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, thank you so much for visiting our show.
You want to try my hat
Sure, no.
on? Show her your eggs.
Yeah, but it's eggs.
Hang on.
Got it.
All right, so now our next person to interview is the parson. Let's welcome the parson. Well, welcome to our show. Let's take a seat. So, what brings you on this pilgrimage?
I am the parson. I'm the only devout churchman in this entire company of pilgrims.
Okay, so you're very involved with the religious matters?
Yes,
Okay.
I can pray for anyone and anything.
Do you get scholarships for it? Just like the student?
I don't believe so,
No.
but I do practice what I preach, though.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well, that's
Yes.
something good to do.
Yes.
So, I know a lot of people use like excommunication in the church. What do you think?
Oh, I hate threatening people with excommunication. I do not like it. I think it should be completely banned from the church.
You should excommunicate excommunication?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Just cut off.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing your
Thank
opinion and coming in and visiting us
Can I
today.
pray for you?
Absolutely. Thank you. Take a picture.
Oh.
So I was like, oh.
Got it.
All right, next up is the friar.
Got the money in the bank.
Hello, Dr. Ben.
Hello.
How are you?
Welcome to our show. Let's be seated.
All right.
So, what brings you on this pilgrimage?
Well, obviously, I need to go because I need to worship. That's just what we do on a pilgrimage.
So wonderful. So you consider yourself to be a good speaker?
I do think I've taken very many speech classes, one of which this fine establishment. I've taken many speech classes. Yes, I do consider myself to be a good speaker.
All right, and we.
Well, you're going to.
What about other facts
Other
about
facts?
you?
Well, women. Something about women. Apparently, I'm good at that. Friendly to them, so. Yeah.
That's okay. Okay. So I know that you're usually criticized by the
I
Chaucer.
don't like that guy at all.
You know.
He just. I
He's
don't
a
know.
bit
I don't know why. What it is with him and me. We just don't get along. Yeah.
Wonderful. So now a lot of people criticize you though for being more concerned about you almost stopped me there. Okay, about money than.
That is not true. I mean, yes, I know I have my money bag, but what person doesn't have their wallet on them? I mean, obviously, I have my Bible here. You all need to get saved.
Alrighty, well, thank you for visiting our studio
thank you
today.
for having me. I enjoyed
Safe
it
travels.
so much. Thank you very much.
Okay, and this.
Friday night he didn't have his wallet on him.
And our last person to interview today is, I think, the most important, the cook.
I'm hungry.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Why, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So you do all the cooking.
I do. I work for my guildsman, and he's great. And I cook all the food for him. I enjoy it. I love it.
Awesome. Does anything ever prevent you from having to cook your physical ailments?
Well, I have this ulcer here on my leg, and it's kind of painful. And when I get some food in it, because I mix my food with my feet, like when I have a big group like you guys. So then it kind of causes some problems because then sometimes I'll get some salt, and that hurts. But if I could, I'd love to demonstrate. Would you?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, I gotta put some little plastic here down. Okay. Then I got my little bowl, my mixing bowl. Let's see, I have some pine nuts. Had any pine nuts before? They're good. And just mix them in there like that. And then got some flour. Got a little flour. Just gotta mix it in a little bit.
Where did you get your accent?
And then, here we got, I need some water. Could you pour me some water? Could you please pour me some water? Carefully now, don't miss. Thank you. Just put a little of that in there. And then some vanilla. You want some vanilla. There you go. Then all you do is mix it with your feet. Take it and you put it in the sunlight. Voila, you got bread. Here, you can pass around and have some. Would you like to have some? Now in the meantime, I'm stuck on the floor. So,
Moving camera. Thank you for watching our show today. I hope you've learned more about the pilgrims and what they do on their pilgrimage. Thank you for tuning in.
let me get a picture of you holding a dish or something.
Wow.
Beautiful. Oh, that was.
Is that how you
Get her
do that?
feet.
Yeah, I didn't get out. Someone go get paper towels.
She's like, I know her. Stick on the floor.
I think she thought before I did.
You need paper towels.
Okay, good job. Both groups, great costume.